Hey, it's Melissa from Special Ed Law Mom. I have just a couple minutes and I've been wanting to do this video for days. Today's video is all about the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. If you have not yet bought it, I don't know what you're waiting for. This is what I jokingly refer to as my Bible, Special Ed Law by Pete Wright. He has IDEA in here. He has several other acts in here. He has the FERPA law, and he has court cases. You can find this on Amazon. I've got a link down below, along with another great book from Emotions to Advocacy. But today I'm going to talk to you about FERPA. So you can find this on page 307 of his book. And the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act, I'm just going to go straight from his book because he summarizes it beautifully. Deals with education records, privacy, and confidentiality, parent access to education records, parent amendment of records, and destruction of records. And it's to protect the privacy of parents and students. So if there is something at the school that has your child's name on it, it is an education record and it has to be disclosed to you. That's number one. It says education records means those records, files, documents, and other materials with which contain information directly related to a student and are maintained by an educational agency or institution or by a person acting for such. It says personal notes and memory aids that are only used by the person who made them are not educational records. However, if the notes are shared or disclosed to another individual, they become educational records. Instructional materials shall be made available to parents and include teacher manuals, films, tapes, or other supplementary materials, and test materials, including test protocols and answer sheets are educational records and must be disclosed. It says the Office of Civil Rights has determined that test protocols used by a psychologist to prepare a report are educational records and must be produced to parents. Destruction of records violates the parent's right of access. You have the right to review and inspect educational records, and this includes the right to have copies of records and to receive explanation and interpretations from school officials. And it says agencies must comply with requests to inspect and review records within 45 days. Now, you will hear from schools if you go to request records, and I'm going to do a video about how to request records and whatnot, but you may hear from schools, oh, you can have those records, but we're going to charge you a retrieval fee and a copying fee, and oh, it might be several hundred or several thousands of dollars for you to obtain those. The act itself says copies of records must be provided to the parent if failure to do so would prevent the parent from exercising the right to view the records. Schools may charge a reasonable fee unless the fee would effectively prevent the parent or student from exercising the right to inspect and review the records. Fees may not be charged for searching and retrieving records. Remember that. If it's going to prevent you from viewing them, inspecting them, digesting them, being able to understand them, then they cannot charge a fee. It says, according to FERPA, if circumstances effectively prevent the parent or eligible student from exercising the right to inspect and review the student's records, the agency or institution or the SEA or its component shall provide the parent or eligible student with a copy of the requested records or make other arrangements for the parent to inspect and review the requested records. If the parent believes that the records contain inaccurate or misleading information, the parent may ask the agency to amend the record. The parent may also request a hearing to correct or challenge misleading or inaccurate information. Um, Okay, and then it talks about personally identifiable information, which includes the student's name, the name of the student's parent or other family member, the address of the student or the student's family, a personal identifier such as their student number or their social security number, a list of personal characteristics that would make the student's identity easily traceable, or other information that would make the student's identity easily traceable. Records may be released without consent to other school officials, including teachers within the educational agency who have been determined by the agency or institution to have legitimate educational interest. Records may be released to officials of other schools or school systems in which the student seeks or intends to enroll upon the condition that the student's parents may be notified of the transfer, receive a copy of the record if desired, and have an opportunity for a hearing to challenge the content of the record. Directory information may be released without consent. Disclosures may be made without consent in health and safety emergencies. Law enforcement agencies and monitoring agencies have access to confidential records. The agency must maintain a log of all disclosures without parental consent, and consent for disclosure must be signed and dated and include the recipient's information. Um, okay, and then it talks about non special education matters and gives a court case. And then it talks about schools must retain records for at least 5 years. The school, the school may not destroy an education record if there is an outstanding request to inspect and review the records. Okay, so this is a lot of information. There's a lot that I need to go through with you on it. I just wanted to do the general premise of what FERPA is. You have rights under FERPA. I will have other videos about FERPA. I will have stories in those videos about FERPA and how things that couldn't be obtained or we just can't access that were suddenly obtained once I filed a formal FERPA complaint. So you'll want to stay tuned for those. Those will be upcoming. I'm also going to do a video about how to organize your education records, how I did it, how it worked for me, and maybe some suggestions for you. So you'll want to stay tuned. If you haven't seen my new website, uh, specialedlawmom.com. You'll want to check that out. I'm starting a new membership program. I'm going to have PDF resources for you. I've got both advocacy services as well as I'll do phone consultations. If you're not ready to commit fully to having an advocate step in, I can also do record reviews and give suggestions for those. So there's something for every budget there. But I'm looking forward to helping you. So check out specialedlawmom.com. You can also see my contact information below, my Gmail, and I'd love to help you. So I hope that this is helpful. Stay tuned for those other videos. And until next time, make it a great day. Thanks. Bye.